Good evening. What can I get for you? Of course I remember you. You're the one I introduced to the dark and stormy. I'm glad you liked it, by the way. Oh, I remember everyone I make a drink for. And every drink I make. Even the ones I wish I could forget. So how have you been? Yeah, this place hasn't been open for a bit. There was an incident, let's say. Oh, you know how it is. One pesky little firebomb through the window and suddenly your business has to shut down. Clear out, rebuild, yada yada. But don't worry, we were insured. And now we're finally ready to reopen. New and improved, and better than ever. But, you know, same vibe. The vibe has always been the best part. Hang on, I need to put this over here. There we go. But yeah, thanks for coming back. I'm sorry we were out of commission for a while. Can't exactly tend a bar where there's a pile of charred wood where the bar used to be. Oh, I kept busy in the meantime. I traveled a lot, for one thing. Met some interesting people, saw some fascinating places. I tried some different jobs along the way. Do you know what a farrier is? That's right. Yeah, I tried that. And I tried being a tanner, a delivery man, a Sherpa, a bounty hunter. I tried a lot of things. But in the end, I found my way back to this place right here. This spot. This bar. I think this is where I'm meant to be. Yeah. You can follow every road in life, try everything that comes at you, and you'll still find your way to where you belong. So here I am. And now you're back too. What drew you back, other than the fact this building is a building again? I see. Well, that's nice of you to say. I'm glad that I'm interesting. You're not so bad yourself. Now, what can I interest you in drinking? Another dark and stormy, perhaps? Ah, I see. You must be in a good mood. Oh, it's simple. There are two types of people who tell a bartender to surprise them with a drink. The very happy and the very sad. And you don't seem to be all that sad. Good, I'm glad. But if I am going to surprise you, I should probably make something different than the usual. Oh, I've got an idea. You enjoyed the history of the dark and stormy, right? Well, how about I make you the world's first real cocktail? Excellent. I'll think you'll like this. And if you don't, well, we learned a little something about you. Settle in and let me work my magic. Of course, there's always a little magic in making a good drink. The ingredients only go so far. But if you're an expert in the craft, you can make it more than the sum of its parts. And I am most definitely an expert in the craft. Let me grab this. Here we go. Okay. The jury's a little bit out on when the first real cocktail was made, or even what constitutes a cocktail, and it's not just a drink with extra steps. Some people think that the old-fashioned is the oldest cocktail, and there's a case to be made for that. I happen to like a good old-fashioned. And others think that the first was the El Draque. But that one was allegedly invented by Sir Francis Drake to medicate his sick crew, so I don't really categorize that as a cocktail, more of a home remedy. But a lot of people seem to agree that the first cocktail was a little drink made in New Orleans back in 1830. And for the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to agree with them. Yep, I'm going to make it for you. It's called a Sazerac, and to this day, I believe it's still the official cocktail of New Orleans. And that's saying a lot for a place that takes drinking as seriously as the Big Easy does. Oh, have you been to Mardi Gras? I've heard Bourbon Street is really something, and beads can be very motivating. Anyway, the Sazerac was invented by an apothecary, who, by other accounts, was a bartender. His name was Antoine Peychaud Jr., and the drink itself is named for the cognac that was used to first make it. I think the New Orleans version has changed up quite a bit from the original. In fact, I'm not even sure they use cognac anymore. But I'm going to make it with the first recipe that we can be sure of. There's nothing like keeping it traditional. At least when it comes to drinks. I'm glad you agree. We'll start with a glass that's been rinsed with absinthe and ice. Oh, this isn't a complicated drink, but it is an interesting one. Let's roll that around very thoroughly. There we go. We can let that sit and chill for a bit. Now, our friend Peisho and his family was known for brewing medicinal bitters. His father had a secret recipe. Look at this bottle. This is Peisho's bitters. They're still being made today. You know, there's actually a big difference between bitters. You're probably thinking of Angostura, and that's the one I use a lot. Most people do. It's a common ingredient for a lot of drinks. But it's got a more woody flavor, and honestly, Angostura bitters are more bitter. Peisho's bitters are lighter, but more herbal. Now, the bitters you use can significantly influence the drink you end up making, and for this, there is no choice but Peisho's. Now, Peisho's shop sold a bunch of punch and called it medicinal tonic. This punch included Sazerac cognac, the home-brewed bitters, and a sugar cube to sweeten it up a little bit, and people really liked it. Because, of course they did, it's alcohol with sugar in it. But the wealthy and influential people of New Orleans particularly liked it, which of course helped it to become even more popular. Now, after a while, Peisho stopped calling it tonic and started calling it a cocktail. And then the story changed to calling him a bartender, I believe. That's the gist of the story, and of course, the drink evolved over time, as all things do. Prohibition did a number on how available certain drinks were, including cognac. I think the modern Sazerac cocktail is made with rye whiskey and liqueur, but Peisho's bitters is still a crucial part of that mix. And we are doing it the traditional way here, because Prohibition isn't a thing anymore. And because otherwise it's not the original cocktail. It's like a Ship of Theseus cocktail. I am so glad you understand my references. You are on your way to becoming one of my favorite customers. Oh, I would never lie about something that important. Now, we take this other glass and we add 2 ounces of cognac, like this. Be patient, you'll see how it works. This is the mixing glass, not the drinking glass. Now we add 4 dashes of Peisho's bitters like this. And the sugar cube, just like this. Alright. Now we put some ice in there and stir it around very gently, just with the back of the spoon. No need to be rough with this. So we're chilling it, but we're also watering it down a little bit. You may have noticed, but this has the potential to be a very strong cocktail if not handled properly. There we go. Now, we take the absinthe glass and strain it. Where's my strainer? Found it. We strain the absinthe into a shot glass. We'll save that for later. And throw out the ice. Like this. Now, we have a chilled glass that has been rinsed with absinthe. See? Alright, we're nearly done. Now, we're going to take that strainer again and we're going to strain the cognac mix into the serving glass. We don't need the ice, we just need the good stuff. And into the absinthe glass like this. Lovely. It's a pretty drink, isn't it? Not quite. It's missing a little something. This. A twist of lemon. We slice a little bit off like this. And we do a quick little twist up here like this. So the oils hit the drink. And just so. And then we either toss the peel or stick it on the side of the glass, I guess. Depends on how much color you like in your drink. Hey, works for me. Now we serve our Sazerac. Behold, your drink is done. Oh, the absinthe shot. It can be served alongside the cocktail, but honestly, you don't need it. Try the drink for what it is and tell me what you think. Well, what's the verdict? Good. I know it's a little bit different, but I think it grows on you. And it's got such history, you can't help but feel like you're drinking something special. Or maybe that's just me. Okay then. You sip that, and I'm gonna clean this up. And then, if you'd like, we can chat some more. It's not too busy here tonight, I've got the time, unless you'd rather be left alone. I'm happy to let you sip your drink in peace if you prefer. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Let me know how the flavor unfolds for you. You might find some interesting nuances. That's fine. And don't worry, I'm already thinking of what drink to make for you next. I've got a few ideas. Remember, I'm an expert with a bit of magic. You'd be surprised of what I can conjure from this bar. Well then, stick around, and you might just find out.